It has been said that in Twilight Struggle, you need to know the cards well in order to play well. Well, we're going to take you through every card one by one, and we're going to help you become a master at Twilight Struggle. This is Legendary Tactics. The Romanian Abdication card is a non-event, relatively speaking, for both the US and the USSR. That doesn't mean it can't have some value though, and we will discuss that here. How does this event work? Well, quite simply, if either side triggers the event, all US influence in Romania is removed, and the USSR gains sufficient influence in Romania for control. Because the US typically doesn't have any influence in Romania, what this usually means is 3 Soviet influences placed in Romania, and that is the end of the event. For the USSR, it is usually best to take this card for the one-op. The event doesn't really do much to help you, as Romania is so far behind the Iron Curtain that it's hard for the US player to contest it even if they wanted to. However, there might be some uses that you hadn't thought of that are worth your consideration. First of all, it does give you a European non-battleground, which might be useful in scoring Europe domination in the right circumstances. It can also be useful as a headline when defectors is potentially lurking out there and you are worried about it blocking your event, or if you really have nothing else to headline. Finally, it can also give you influence which can be redistributed with the de-Stalinization event at a later point. If de-Stalinization has already been played, it is likely better to just take the op. Taking the op in the early war also keeps the card in play, which slightly tilts the overall composition of the draw deck in your favor after the turn 3 reshuffle, which is never a bad thing. There is also one interesting US combo that you do need to keep an eye out for, and I'll detail that now. For the US player, this card is generally totally safe to play and to let the event trigger. In fact, triggering the event makes other cards like independent reds more useful to you. If you're going to play it, you might want to hold off until later on in the turn in case de-Stalinization is played by your opponent. You don't want to give the USSR easy ops to reposition. It's better to make it a bit of a tougher choice. And there is a useful combo that is not worth pursuing directly, but it is a nice indirect consequence of play. After Romanian Abdication is played, the card Independent Reds can take on some extra value. If the Independent Reds event triggers, play the ops into Romania, which leaves it at 3-3. This typically improves on most times Independent Reds is triggered, where it only gives you 1 influence somewhere. Afterwards, if the Truman Doctrine comes out, you can remove the Soviet influence from Romania. This gives you US control of a non-battleground country neighboring Mother Russia, which means it scores an extra victory point every time the European scoring card is played. Again, it's not something to be directly pursued as it really isn't worth that much effort, but if the cards fall in your favor, it at least adds some value to your cause. So in summary, Romanian Abdication is an event that adds a little bit of value to the USSR and is a pretty safe event for the USA to play. This has been an analysis of the early war event Romanian Abdication by NATO of Legendary Tactics. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.